I'm about to walk you through the exact step-by-step system that I've used to buy businesses with little to zero money down. Most people think that you need hundreds of thousands of dollars sitting in your bank account to buy a business, and that's completely wrong. I'm Ben Kelly, and I have over 7 businesses that generate over $850,000 a year in cash flow. And I've structured most of these deals with minimal money out of my own pocket. I've also helped hundreds of students acquire their first business using this exact same system. But I didn't figure this out overnight. I've burned through tens of thousands of dollars and made every mistake imaginable trying to figure out how to do this and get to the point where I am today. What I'm about to share with you today is what I wish I had when I first started. It's a clear step-by-step roadmap that takes all the guesswork out. If you want to own a cash flowing business without writing big checks, pay attention to every step that I'm about to share. Before you look at a single business listing, you need to understand what makes a good one versus a bad one. You need to learn my 3 pillars. Number 1, recurring revenue. This is where businesses are going to get paid by their customer multiple times in a year for the services that they provide. 2, recession resistance. These are services that people need regardless if there's a recession or not. Think essential services. And 3 is a barrier to entry. These are businesses that it's very hard to start and compete against you. Maybe there's a lot of capital that's needed to get started. Maybe you need a license. Maybe you just need a great location and there's not many great locations left. You want some kind of unfair advantage. Next, you got to learn the golden ratio. We're looking for businesses that are cash flowing between 15 and 35% in their profit margins. Think of the golden ratio like a health check for the business. If it's between the 15 and 35%, chances are that this business is being run well and they have good management because they're making the margins they should be making. Once you understand what to look for, get pre-qualified with an SBA lender. You're going to need the last 3 years of tax returns. You can have your pay stubs. You're going to have to show your resume. You're going to have to show your experience as well as a personal financial statement that shows all the different things that you own. The lender will then tell you how much they're willing to give you to go shopping for a business. If you're approved for a $1 million deal, you're looking for a business that has at least $300,000 in cash flow to be able to qualify for the lender. Don't move on to step 2 until you know and internalize the 3 pillars. Understand the golden ratio and make sure you have your pre-qualification letter. Now it's time to fill your pipeline with deals since acquisition is a numbers game. You need to be looking at 20 to 30 businesses to be able to make 2 to 3 offers. There are 2 ways to find deals. You have off market and you have on market. Off market is where the seller is not actively selling the business and you're cold outreach to them so that you're convincing them to sell to you. On market is where they're already with a broker and they're listing it online. For on market deals, use smbmarket.com. It's the best place where you can go and search deals all across the country and it aggregates them together in the largest database available. Filter all the businesses and make sure you're focusing on the cash flow margins between 15 and 35%. Focus on boring, recession-resistant industries. Examples could be HVAC, plumbing, accounting, anything that has to do with home services. Remember, think about it this way. If you were to lose your job or have your paycheck cut in half, what are you still paying for? Reach out to brokers asking them specific questions about their listings, not just generic tell me about the business messages. Ask why it's for sale. Ask about the management structure and how involved the owner is day to day. For off-market deals, you can start cold calling and cold emailing business owners. And don't make it more difficult than it has to be. All you have to do is make a script talking about who you are and why you're interested in buying businesses and start getting business owners emails. You can buy these as lists. There's different places like Apollo.io where you can go and scrape thousands of these listings and then start sending them emails. Use LinkedIn to find business owners in the niches and industries that you're interested in and reach out to them. Try to connect with them. Tell them that you're interested in learning more about their business. The goal is to always have multiple conversations going on with sellers and brokers. Again, business acquisition is a numbers game. You want to do as much as possible to fill up your pipeline to increase your chances of finding a good deal to make an offer on. Most conversations are going to go nowhere, but the more that you do it, the more likely you're going to be able to get a deal under contract. Once you have several businesses that look promising, you need to separate the good from the bad without getting stuck in analysis paralysis. Apply the golden ratio test first. Cash flow divided by revenue should be between 15 and 35%. Check for the 3 pillars: recession resistance, recurring revenue, barrier to entry. Calculate what the business is worth using the 2 to 4x cash flow rule. Businesses where the owner is doing everything, working 40 plus hours a week and are essential to the business is a 2 to 2.5x business. That would be the multiple that you're then multiplying the cash flow by. Businesses with managers or where the owner is completely outside the office, those are 3 to 4x businesses. Think of it like buying a rental property. You pay based on the income that it generates, not what the seller hopes that it's worth. Look for red flags like declining revenue over multiple years, heavy dependence on one customer, which is called customer concentration, or a lot of personal expenses that are mixed with business expenses. Always start your first offer 15 to 20% below retail value. We always want to leave room for negotiation. Now, if it's a deal where you know there's 5 other offers going in because it's an amazing deal and they've done a great job in getting a lot of interest, you're going to want to go at market value or a little bit higher. Always making sure that it's still going to meet your cash flow requirements. Don't spend weeks analyzing one deal while missing other opportunities in the process. Make decisions with the information that you currently have. Create an LOI, letter of intent, for every every business that you want to buy. An LOI shows you're serious and you're taking the first step of putting a number to a paper, but it's also not legally binding. You can still walk away at any time for any reason. You're going to include your purchase price as well as how you are going to fund the deal. So what is your financing structure looking like? Structure number one, 85% SBA, 10% seller note that is on full standby for the life of the SBA loan, giving you an extra 5% from the bank towards your equity injection, and then you only need 5% from you or an investor. The second one is 90% SBA, and the 10% instead of being brought by you is brought by an investor partner. The key is showing that this benefits the seller as well. Seller notes provide tax advantages and steady income. You want to submit multiple LOIs because most of them are not going to be accepted. You are literally playing the odds. Be prepared to walk away no matter how much time, no matter how much energy, even if you had put money towards diligence on a deal, always walk away if the numbers don't make sense. Once you have an accepted LOI, now's the fun part where you have to make sure everything that the seller told you is actually true. Due diligence is like getting a home inspection. You're making sure that you're not buying someone else's problems. Start with financial diligence because that is the biggest thing that will kill a deal. You're going to review the last 3 years of profit and loss statements, tax returns. You're going to do a whole audit of their management structure. All of these things are super important to realize whether or not you taking on a big loan is going to pay off or if it's going to be too much of a risk. You're going to verify the cash flow numbers and do a whole cash flow analysis to see truly what is this business actually making in profit. You're going to check for customer concentration. We don't want to see any one customer making up more than 10% of revenue for the business. Then you're going to do the operational due diligence. You're going to meet with the key employees to see how this business is run day to day and understand who is doing what and how well do they do it. You want to also verify that the important people are staying after you buy the business. Review customer contracts, vendor relationships, and any legal issues they might be involved in. This phase usually takes between 30 and 60 days. You always want to give yourself more room because things always pop up. You have to be patient and you have to be thorough. Don't be afraid to renegotiate the price. You might find out that it's not making as much cash flow as you thought, or there's other operational problems in the business that greatly increases your risk. So you go back to the seller and you renegotiate the price lower. You're going to work with your SBA lender to complete the SBA loan package. The bank is going to do their own diligence on you, the buyer, as well as the business, because they're the ones risking the money. Prepare for a lot of paperwork and document requests. This is completely normal for anything having to do with the SBA. You're also going to negotiate the final terms for the seller financing with the seller. You also want to get your investor lined up if you are planning on using any type of investor injection for the deal. Have the lawyer draft the purchase agreement based on the terms in the LOI. The purchase agreement is the legally binding contract that governs the entire sale of the business. You're going to be probably scheduling the closing about 30 to 45 days after diligence is complete. SBA loans typically take 60 to 90 days for the full process to play out for you to get to the closing table. On closing day, the funds are going to transfer and you get the keys to your new business. Make sure you have a transition plan with the seller and with your key employees. If you want my complete step-by-step system with all the templates, scripts, and direct coaching from me and my other students, I have something for you. My Acquisition Ace program walks through this entire process with accountability and support every step of the way. We've helped hundreds of students acquire their first businesses using these exact same strategies. Check the link in the description below if you want to see what it looks like to have me help you walk through this entire process. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.